love that tone, dude. That. Oh. YouTube, what is up, you guys? All right, I'm coming on here today for a quicker kind of video. I tend to drag these out, man, but some people have asked in live streams and stuff kind of this question, and I thought I'd come on here and give what I think is a pretty solid answer of how do you get started in Nashville. You just moved to town, you want to play, what do you do? I think some of what I'm going to talk about is going to some of you seem really obvious, but some people might not think this way. So this is for like the new people. You move to Nashville, you want to play guitar, whatever instrument, whatever you do, how do you get started? This obviously is based on my journey. I play guitar, I play in a band called Lanco, I played a bunch downtown, Broadway, I've done hundreds of gigs all around town, whatever, out of town, everything. So the main key that I'm going to focus on is like, what do? You just moved to town, what do I do? Do I start learn a bunch of songs? Do I need to learn a bunch of songs for Broadway and this and that? Yes, but that's not the first main thing. Like, you're gonna have to practice and you're gonna have to shed. You're gonna move here, you're gonna realize everybody is a lot better than you, and you're just there's gonna be a lot of time sitting playing the instrument, trying to get better, learn, get up on your natural number system if you're not used to that, learn how to read a chart, all of those technical things. But I want to talk more about like how to start playing and what's the best way to do that. And the best way is definitely, I think anybody that is a pro in town would agree, the best way is to start going out and meeting musicians. You've got to go meet people. If you're not out and about, you're not going to find gigs. There's some Facebook groups that you could post in and this and that, but let's be honest, it's just, maybe that'll get you a gig, I don't know. It's not the real way to do it. You've got to go see people in person and show face. You've got to be present to win, and starting to get your name out there, starting to meet people. So how do you do that? Well, my advice would be whatever type of music you like to play. If you think, oh, I'd love to play on Broadway, or I want to start getting on the road, Broadway can be an initial into meeting people that are doing that. If you play metal music, if you play jazz music, you want to go meet musicians that are playing music like that. And that's happening all around town. Now, is there a bunch of jazz gigs on Broadway? No, but you go to Rudy's, you might find some stuff there. There's other spots. There might be some stuff kind of at the Underdog. You know, it's not just Broadway, but the key here is going out and meeting people. And I'm going to give just a couple tips of like good advice I think that might help, especially, I'm going to use Broadway a lot as an example. But go down there and watch people. And here's the key. I'd go down there, if you're a guitar player, go down to Broadway, and here's like an extra pro tip, all right? There's shifts on Broadway, and a lot of you might know this, but I'm really talking to someone that doesn't know this at all. There's shifts. So the musicians are playing from 10 a.m. any given day, Christmas Day even, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., then from 2 to 6, 6 to 10, and 10 to 2. Those are the standard shifts on Broadway. Some bars deviate, but that's pretty standard. So here's a great point of advice, is I would go down to Broadway, especially more in the morning if you're brand new, because there's going to be less people, and try and get down there for the last hour of one of those shifts. Now, this is why that's important. Your key here is you want to find some bands that you think are cool, someone that's playing some great guitar, someone that's sounding great. And after the gig, the reason you're going at that end, so you're not there for 4 hours, so you can watch for an hour, and then once they're done, go up and try and talk to someone. Don't go up, here's some great advice, don't go up and be begging people to sit in. That is an easy way to, you might be great, but as a musician on stage, we don't know that. And, you know, especially for free, we're not going to have it just bomb the gig. I've been down there before and someone's paid $50 to sing and they're great. I've been down there before and we let a random person get up on stage because they thought they could play a song and they couldn't, and it was terrible. So it just depends. Don't go asking to sit in. That's not the course you want to take. But I'd go down there and find someone that you think is doing something cool so you can be genuine, and go up and talk to them after the gig. Go up and be like, man, just wanted to say, killer playing. And then ask them a question. Say something, just a compliment, and be genuine. Find someone you actually thought was playing great. And there's a lot of great players down there. It's not hard to find. And go talk to them afterwards. Once they're done, Be like, dude, awesome plan. I just wanted to introduce myself. And then ask a question. This is a great like opening point for this type of thing of going up, saying a compliment, and then being like, man, how do you get that tone? Or what's that guitar you're using? What amp do you bring down here? Just one of those questions. And a lot of times people, especially guitar players, will somewhat talk to you and engage with that, you know? But the key here is being genuine. Find someone you actually thought sounded great, and then just try and go up and talk to them. Introduce yourself, give them a compliment, say, man, I thought that playing was great, or that thing you did on this song was really cool, and then ask them a question. Letting them have the floor to talk more than you is always a huge bonus. People like to talk about themselves, right? Ask a question. What's your setup like down here? Then hopefully a conversation starts at least a little bit. Hey, I'm Tim. I'm brand new to town. I'm just out trying to meet people. You sounded great. I figured I'd say hello. You know, that is a great entry point, and you want to keep doing that. I'd go spend a day on Broadway and just do that and talk to different musicians, meet people. And the key here is you're not right now looking for gigs. You're looking for friends, and the friends are going to give you gigs at points. But you want to make good, genuine connections with people that aren't just, hey man, I'm looking for a gig, I'm looking for a gig. Nobody wants to hear that. Everyone in town's looking for a gig. Everybody's trying to play. There's a lot of people here. Now there's a lot of work to go around, but that's not your opening point. You want to make actual friends with people. And it might look something like, okay, ask him about his pedal board, introduce yourself. I'm brand new to town. I'm just trying to meet some people. Awesome, man. Yeah, hey, you got an Instagram? This is another key. Have an Instagram. Have an Instagram. The Nashville business card. Asking to follow someone on Instagram is a lot less personal than saying, hey, can I have your phone number? A lot more people are going to be open to saying, yeah, man, follow me. Hopefully they follow you back. And if they do, then they'll see you around. You don't have to have crazy videos of you playing or whatnot. Just, you know, have something that shows you kind of play guitar on your Instagram. But that really is a key, that Nashville business card. And it's a lot less personal than asking for someone's phone number. So off the bat, that can be a great in. Now you can gauge the conversation. If it's going great, hey man, I'd love to get some coffee or something sometime, or hang out and jam or whatever, you know, maybe then you can gauge that conversation, say, okay, it's appropriate to ask for someone's phone number. But the Instagram is an easy thing, and I've done that my whole career here. I always just collect Instagrams, because then you see people online, they're doing stuff, you post some stuff when you're doing stuff, they see it, you know. The next thing you know, hey, I can't make my shift today. I see Tim's playing all the time. Let's call Tim, right? Or it might happen where you make friends with someone. He says, man, we do a jam at a buddy's house once a month. Just some beers and hang out, knock around guitars, whatever. You should come. Awesome, right? That's going to introduce you to a bunch more musicians. And I think just talking about what I just talked about is the real key point. Some groups are going to be harder to do that than others. You know, at Rudy's, that might be a little bit harder, but my experience had been with the Broadway stuff. But your key when you first move here is just meeting people, making friends, real friends. And this is how it worked for me. I came down here, I made friends. It took me a little while. The first couple months I was down here, I did not have that kind of personality, and I really had to force myself to go out and do that. And it's, 8-9 years later, it's paid off very well for me. But you've got to just try and make friends. In the great thing, the thing that I did, even inadvertently, because everybody's so good down here, is I started making a bunch of friends with guys that were way better than I was at guitar. They still are better, and are great friends today. But then those people I just jam with. We jam with all the time. I used to have buddies over all the time. At first, when I didn't have gigs, I was trying to jam. Now, a lot of people that are playing full-time aren't always going to want to sit around and jam, but you'll meet someone out there that wants to. And I just would get essentially free lessons because I was just jamming with people that were better than I am all the time. And man, that does a ton for your playing. And I promise when you come down, you're going to have to work on your playing. For 90% of the people that are coming down. Doesn't mean you're bad. The skill level here is really high. And if you're not working at it every day, you're going to start falling behind. And that's just, if you want to do this for a living, that's how it comes into it. Now, a couple things, and saying doing it for a living, I'm really going off the cuff here, but don't be discouraged about having a day job, especially initially. you're not going to have any gigs, so you got to have some money somehow. So don't let that discourage you. Go out when you have time. Another great key is if you're going out on Broadway to meet people, go down there, have a beer if you want, have some fun. Maybe don't get blasted, that's a slippery slope. You start going down there every day, you're drinking too much, it's not going to be great. Not great first impressions. It's an easy way to never get called or messaged or anything. But I think that really is the key off the bat, is you're looking to make friends. You want to go to where there's music that you like, that you think you'd like to play, and start talking to those people. Some people are going to be way more receptive than others. Some are going to be nice, some are not going to be nice. You can't let it discourage you. An easy way, almost nobody is mean if you just go up and give a compliment. Say, hey man, I just wanted to say that was awesome playing. If he's like, yeah, cool, thanks man. Okay, maybe that's not your guy. You go to the next bar or talk to the drummer or whoever, but you're just trying to get your name out. And I think that compliment and then asking a question is a great opening for someone to be like, yeah man, I just used this little amp down here. It's just a Boss Katana, but they're easy, and then you start a little bit of a dialogue. Oh, why do you use that? Or, man, how'd you get this gig, or how'd you get started? Whatever. Then the couple keys there is like, you've really got to gauge. You can't be overbearing. You don't want to come down there desperate, say, I'm looking for gigs, please. Can I come sit in? Nobody wants to hear that. So you've just got to start casting the net and or casting the line. And most of the time it's going to come up empty, but once in a while you'll start, for every 100 casts, maybe you get 2. But slowly that number will grow because you start to meet more people, then they introduce you to more people. Then once you start playing, your name is in the community, people know they can call you, they'll start to know to call you after you get even a little bit further for a certain type of thing, right? Like nobody's calling me for like an 80s rock cover gig because I can't play that. So I don't do that, but I have friends that if for some reason I got called for that, I would direct them to that. So knowing your space, knowing your lane, knowing what you want to play, and just coming down and making genuine connections. I know that might sound obvious to some people, but I know there's some people that are thinking about or just moved here that might need to hear that, and I promise that will pay off. I want to say one more thing about how I was talking about everybody's going to be better than you and this and that. You just can't let that discourage you. It's easy to come down here and get discouraged really quick. All of a sudden, you're going to be around a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of people that are doing really big things, or at least people that think they're doing really big things and want to make sure you know about it. You're going to meet people that you've never heard of that are terrifyingly good players. And there's a lot of instances where you could say, man, well, why am I even playing? I'm never going to be able to do that. Maybe that's true, but if you put down the guitar, you definitely will never be able to do that, So I always say this, like, you either come down here and, like, you see someone great, you kind of feel that discouraged feeling, and you either go home and practice or you go home. It's one of the two. You've got to let that motivate you to be like, okay, I know I got to keep playing, I got to practice. And some of it's technical skills, some of it's just being comfortable when you don't know a song and someone in the band on Broadway, something gets called and he says, it's like a 1-4-5 chicken picking type thing in E. Just follow me. Okay, you got to be able to, that is a very common thing you will hear like on the bandstand, of being like, okay, here we go. I'm going to do my best. And that just comes from doing it. So, don't be afraid to go out and fail. You're going to fail a lot, right? I just heard Guthrie Trapp, who's quoting Tom Bukovac, saying, if you're not... what did he say about basketball? If you're not getting called for fouls, you're not playing basketball, right? And you could take that in all kinds of ways with music, but some of that too might be like, don't be afraid to go out and send it and fail. And some gigs you're going to do great on, some you're going to just bomb. And that's just how it goes. But each time you're swinging the bat, you're getting closer to what you want. So if you're brand new to Nashville, man, take a little bit of that advice. I can't in my mind envision anybody that lives here that does what I do that would disagree with the information I just give. I mean, I would love to hear the reason of anybody that would disagree. I know this sounds so basic, but it might help. That little way to open up a conversation, start talking to somebody, can help you start making friends, and those friends will eventually lead to gigs and hopefully get you better too. Hanging jamming with people that are better than you is always a plus. You want to be the worst one in the room. You're in the wrong room if you're the best person in the room. And that never ends, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I make my living doing it. I was just in a room last week, two guys that are both younger than I am, that are both way better than I am at guitar. And you just, you gotta just send it and do your thing. But once you're in that position enough, you'll gain a little bit of confidence in this and that. So I hope that helps. It's a little bit of idea how to start getting gigs, which is really just you need to make friends, and then eventually gigs will start coming, and just putting it out there, not being desperate, but be like, I'm just looking to get started down here. Any advice, any stuff like that, a lot of people are willing to help, and then have that Instagram ready, man. It doesn't have to be all polished with a bunch of stuff, just have one so you can follow people. That really is kind of, at least for people like my age, and a lot of people, I think, I'm 30, the Nashville business card. So you guys, just a little bit of ranting off the cuff. Some people have asked this question in a live stream, and I figured this video would probably be helpful to someone out there. I know there's plenty of people out there that aren't moving to Nashville or watch my content and aren't interested in that, but this really is for you guy or gal that is moving here and wants to do it. And this doesn't, I'm speaking from the guitar perspective, but it applies to if you want to be a songwriter. Start going to rounds, meeting the people that are playing rounds, find someone that sings a killer song and go up afterwards. Do the same thing. It applies the same across the board, So, man, I just hope this can help someone. This is like information that I had to learn on my own, as obvious as it seems. It wasn't immediately when I got here. I was just younger too, Some people this comes very naturally to, and they succeed really quick or start having some success really quick in Nashville. Some people, it's just not in your personality to do this, and if you want to do it, you're just going to have to get uncomfortable a little bit. Start forcing yourself out. Go down there with a friend if you need to. Going down alone is great. So anyways, rambling, ranting, a little bit of this and that. I hope this helps someone out there. Hey, you guys, if you're enjoying this and you like this, hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think. What is your advice, especially if you live in Nashville, that you would give to start getting gigs? This is, I'm not even going to call the video how to start getting gigs, because that's just it's not a lie, but it is a lie. But how to get started in Nashville, you got to start making friends. And if you want to play out, you got to start meeting other people that are playing out, and they will lead you into that path of getting gigs. And it might start on Broadway. Then one guy travels on the weekend. Hey, I'm traveling with this artist on the weekend. We don't have a guitar player. Think you could come out and do the cover gig in Ohio. Okay, yeah, I do that. You do that some more, then you start meeting someone that says, hey, I'm playing a writer's round. Okay, playing a writer's round for an artist. Then that artist says, hey, I got booked for a Whiskey Jam. We're doing a full band thing. Okay, full band. Now that artist is getting, hey, I've got an opening slot for a small little festival. Do you want to go out and do it? Right? Like, it'll just start branching into a great tree of all kinds of work. And, you'll be able to learn what you like and hone in on, I want to be on the road. I love the cover stuff. I kill it. I want to stay downtown all the time. I want to meet more studio cats. Whatever, So, okay, I'm done ranting. I always make these videos way too long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just guarantee that advice will help. I guarantee there's just no world it doesn't. And there's no one down here that is a pro that would disagree with that. I mean, there's just nobody. So take it if you need it. Write a comment, tell me what you think about it. Hey, if you've made it this far, you liked the video, hit subscribe, hit the like button. That helps the video. You guys hear it on every YouTube video ever out there. You know what to do. Do the YouTube thing. Hey, if you're interested in joining the Discord I've got with the community here on YouTube, I've got a members link down below. You can join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys got something out of this, and until next time, peace.